Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 4 opens with one of the franchise's most ambitious premieres yet. What begins as a routine scientific mission quickly transforms into an unforgettable time travel adventure involving prehistoric Earth, ancient Martians, dinosaurs, and a revelation that completely changes how viewers see the history of the Star Trek universe. At the same time, the episode quietly tells a much more personal story about Captain Pike learning how to move forward after losing Batel. The episode opens 6 months after the events of Season 3. Rather than taking time to process his grief, Pike has buried himself in non-stop missions. His crew notices that he has barely stopped working, constantly volunteering the Enterprise for dangerous assignments instead of confronting the emotional pain he is carrying. This unhealthy coping mechanism becomes one of the emotional foundations of the episode. Things become even more complicated when Admiral Alex offers Pike a promotion to Commodore. Accepting the position would move him one step closer to becoming an admiral, but it would also mean leaving the Enterprise behind. Unsure whether he is ready, Pike delays making a decision. Before he can think about his future, however, the Enterprise receives a distress signal coming from a mysterious cosmic buoy near an enormous interstellar storm. Attempting to rescue whoever sent the signal, the Enterprise is pulled into the storm and suddenly finds itself trapped in an unknown region of space. The ship loses power, warp capability, and long-range sensors, forcing the crew to search for resources on a nearby planet. Una, Lon, and Ortegas travel to the surface hoping to collect iridium fuel. At first, the planet appears like an ordinary alien world. Then everything changes. Back aboard the Enterprise, Spock finally restores the sensors and makes an astonishing discovery. The Enterprise has not only traveled across space, it has traveled through time. The crew is now in Earth's solar system approximately 65 million years in the past. The planet where the away team landed is actually prehistoric Earth. Suddenly, the giant reptilian creature blocking their path is revealed to be a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Because altering history could have catastrophic consequences, the crew cannot simply destroy the dinosaur. Instead, Una cleverly incapacitates it by targeting the inside of its mouth, allowing the team to collect the iridium without changing history any more than necessary. Meanwhile, Pike encounters another enormous surprise. The mysterious alien ship trapping the Enterprise belongs to living Martians. In the Star Trek timeline, intelligent life on Mars disappeared millions of years before humanity ever existed. Their leader, Castle, welcomes Pike aboard, but immediately becomes fascinated by Starfleet's advanced technology. As Pike attempts to explain the Federation's ideals of peace and cooperation, Castle repeatedly questions why anyone would trust alien civilizations after everything her own people have suffered. The emotional connection between Pike and Castle becomes one of the episode's strongest moments. Thanks to the unique nature of her language, Castle realizes Pike recently lost someone he deeply loved. She recognizes the grief hidden beneath his calm exterior. Like Pike, Castle has spent years fighting to protect her people from an endless war. Both characters are driven by loss. The difference is how they choose to respond. Pike continues believing in hope. Castle believes survival requires overwhelming violence. Eventually, Castle steals one of the Enterprise's antimatter fuel cells. At first, the crew cannot understand why. The Martians do not possess warp technology, making the fuel cell appear useless. The horrifying truth soon becomes clear. Castle intends to use it as an antimatter bomb to completely destroy the homeworld of her enemies, the Dole DRM. The crew faces an impossible moral dilemma. Stopping Castle could strand the Enterprise in the distant past forever. Allowing her attack means witnessing the destruction of an entire civilization. Sadly, history leaves them with no real alternative. Castle detonates the antimatter weapon. The resulting planetary explosion creates enough energy to break the quantum entanglement trapping the Enterprise. Ortegas performs an incredible piloting maneuver, guiding the ship through the massive shockwave and finally returning everyone safely to their own time. The ending then delivers the episode's biggest twist. The destruction of the Dole DRM homeworld does far more than send the Enterprise home. Fragments from the shattered planet become the asteroid that later wipes out Earth's dinosaurs. Other debris forms the asteroid belt that exists in the solar system today. Even more significantly, the explosion alters the orbits of Earth and Mars. Mars becomes the cold, barren planet familiar throughout Star Trek history. Earth cools enough to create the conditions necessary for humanity to eventually evolve. In other words, the Enterprise accidentally witnesses one of the defining events that made human civilization possible. Rather than changing history, they were always part of it. Everything happened exactly as it was supposed to. After returning home, Pike finally makes his long-awaited decision. Despite the prestigious promotion waiting for him, he realizes he is not ready to leave the Enterprise. His place is still beside his crew. However, he also recognizes that someone else deserves recognition. He recommends Una Chin Riley for promotion to commander, rewarding her outstanding leadership throughout the mission. The episode closes with the crew finally taking a well-earned break together. After months of endless assignments, they laugh, celebrate, and share stories about surviving dinosaurs and prehistoric Earth. It is the first genuine moment of peace Pike has allowed himself since Batel's death. The true meaning of the ending is not really about dinosaurs or time travel. It is about accepting that no one can save everyone. Pike desperately wishes he could have saved Batel. Castle desperately wants to save her civilization. Both carry unbearable grief. Yet the episode suggests that trying to change the past often creates even greater tragedy. Instead, real courage comes from protecting the future that still remains. By refusing promotion, Pike chooses exactly that. Rather than escaping into a new career or burying himself beneath endless work, he accepts that the Enterprise and its crew are where he truly belongs. Season 4 therefore begins with a powerful message. The past cannot always be changed. Loss cannot always be undone. But even after unimaginable heartbreak, there is still purpose in continuing the journey and exploring the strange new worlds that lie ahead.